Hello YouTube, AKR here, doing some video of my UP 8085 SD43 Mac, pulling my water tenders. Just wanted to see how they pulled with the two locomotives that I've got, my 8085 and my 1982. Everything seems to be pulling well. Both engines sound pretty smooth. No, for this being DC, it seems to be doing okay. It seems to be pulling okay. Kind of do some up close shots of her going around the curve here. Get this thing to focus a little bit for me. Sorry for the kind of moving and shaking here. We'll put some light to it, but everything seems to be pulling pretty well here. See, the couplers might be a little tiny bit of resistance, but I don't think there is any that much. It doesn't seem like 8085 is pulling 1982, you know, or anything like that. And they started out with the voltage and light rate readings about the same. So all in all, I think it's going to do pretty good. And hopefully it'll do pretty good when I get my KATO steam engine, my 844. But this is the layout, and done some changes since I last posted any videos. And I love these little tenders. They're really cool. But we'll slow it down here a little bit as she goes around here. We'll slow her down to a little slower than what she was going. I'll slow her down a little bit slower here and kind of watch her go through the back side of the layout here. Now she's coming through the curves. Everything looks pretty well. Like I say, I don't think anything is, you know, it's there's not any extra tugging that I can see on the couplers there. You know, the engines don't seem to be struggling at each other or anything like that I can tell. Everything looks pretty well. The only thing is I just don't have a steam engine quite yet, but that should be coming here in a few days. So we'll let her head on down the layout. This is my other engines and stuff that I have right now. I think that's 80, if I remember the number, I think that's 8027 down there, or 8026 down on that end. Let her kind of go on the back side here, and then we'll catch her as she's going through the curve again. For this not to be DCC and you know, using the coders and stuff like that, I think they're doing pretty well. I mean, just like I say, it doesn't sound like the engines are pulling at each other or anything like that. They pretty well, when I started them out, and I may show that here just a minute or two, they seem to slow out, started together that I could see. So I think all in all, I think they're doing pretty well. We'll slow it up there, and then we'll focus here on there, and then we'll stick it in reverse. And you can kind of see that both lights pretty well turn on at the same time. There's no pushing on the couplers that I can see. We'll back it up a little bit here. Shut it off. Turn the camera off. That way you can see as I turn it up and the voltage slowly comes on to each one of the motors here. Oops, let's go in forward. Okay, we're gonna do a refocus. She's in forward. I'll move her up a little closer. You can see that both lights are coming on about the same time. That one's coming on. That one there is just starting to about the same. I'm gonna focus again. That one there is just starting to come on. Yep, and that one there about the same. So I think all in all, let this focus again. I think pretty well they're working about the same. They don't seem to be pulling at each other. Looking at the how about looking at here? Looking at the couplers from above, and we'll stick it in reverse. I'm going to stick it in reverse, back it up slowly. There's just a little push. Just a little push there. I go forward, just a little slack, and then she goes. So I think that's pretty well matched. Same with this. Just a little push on the deal, but that was because it was, I think it was in the starting in the curve. So there's a little pull. Now when I back it up, there might be a little a little bit, but that engine's pulling on that there, so it's looking at the two water tenders. There's a little pull there. When I back it up, there's a little tug, but I just imagine that tug that you see there is just about the same tug as what it would be on even if it was DCC. You know, it's not nothing that I don't think there's any concern about. I mean, there's probably about that much tugging or that much play or whatever in that in the real ones. But just thought I'd show this to you. I wanted to show that beautiful Mopac 1982 engine that I've got. I love that engine. It's smooth. Just pure quiet. It just a baby going down the tracks. I share you here with my my little light there. Got that on there. That's one thing about having DC. You can run those lights I know there's some that's got DCC that has tried to convert them and run them, so, but they work perfectly on DC. And that's my 814 Joe Jordan and my 809 Jim Adams with the flag. And of course that's the 8085. And across the road over there is the 8026. I thought I said 8026, but I may have said 8027, but I'm sorry if I did. But anyway, this is kind of a